All right, let's get into jump in. We're gonna pay 1,000 gold. We're gonna get 2 packets, bind them together, and then we're gonna play a game until we get a win. We'll get an uncommon card, and we'll get to keep all those cards. Terrific way for newer players to add cards to their collection, cheap, and just jump right into it. Okay, we have green-white citizens, black ordained, or blue-red high tech. I'm assuming that the high tech is going to be something to do with artifacts and instants and sorceries. Ordained looks like it might be priests. Excuse me, not clerics. And green white citizens is probably a new pack from New CAPENNA, so let's go with that. Okay, so we have samurai, elves, or bewitching for our second choice. If citizens is going to have a tribal citizen element to it, we probably don't want to mix that with samurai or elves, so let's take bewitching. Yeah, that'll work. Let's check out some of our cards. Citizens bewitching. Okay, so we have Gavany Trapper, 1-drop 0/2, 2 generic to tap a target creature. Hedge Witch's Mask, 1 plains, equipped creature gets +1/+1, and equipped creature can't be blocked by creatures power 4 or greater. Equip cost of 2. Homestead Courage, a sorcery that puts a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, and it gets vigilance till end of turn. Costs 1 plains, flash it back for a plains. For the family, a new common from Streets of New CAPENNA, 1 green. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If you control 4 or more creatures, that creature gets +4/+4. Backup Agent, this is the New CAPENNA card as well. The 2-drop 1/1. When it enters, you put a counter on creature. Can be itself as well. Candlegrove Witch, 2-drop 2/2 with Coven. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, Candlegrove Witch gains flying. We don't have any. We have one 1-drop creature at 0/4. That could play into that. Hold for Ransom, an enchantment. 2-drop enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't attack or block and has 7. Hold for Ransom's controller sacrifices it and draws a card. Activate only. We have Kabir Takedown, a dual modal land from Zendikar Rising at uncommon. Its Kabir Plateau comes in tapped, add a white mana to your pool, or a 2-drop instant that deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control, the target creature or planeswalker. Ritual of Hope, uncommon instant from Midnight Hunt for 2. Creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. And Coven, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, creatures you control get +2/+1. Dead. So Coven, or the bewitching part of it, seems to be a lot of cards from Midnight Hunt with the Coven ability, so that actually plays in pretty well with for the family from New CAPENNA, where it cares about how many creatures you have. That's pretty cool. Here's a rare. Oh, sorry, Sajiri Shelter at uncommon, a dual land, a modal land from Zendikar Rising. This one comes in tap to add 1 white mana to your pool, or you can give a creature protection from the color of your choice till end of turn. Remember that protection can stop a spell from affecting your creature. Play it in response to protect your creature. You can also play it to make sure that they can't block. Sun Gold Sentinels are rare. 2-drop 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, exile or attacks, exile 1 target card from a graveyard. Then it has a Coven for 2 if you control 3 different powers among control. It gains hexproof color of choice until end of turn and can't be blocked by those creatures till end of turn. Pretty cool defensively, also pretty cool offensively, in that you can't be blocked by, say, if you green. Swing in with this, make green creatures block it. Civil Servant, 2-drop 2/3. This is a New CAPENNA card, a common. When it attacks, you may tap another untapped citizen you control. If you do, Civil Servant gets +1/+ against Stifling. Arkite's Pegasus. It's a 2-drop rare. 2/1 flying trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. If you had 2 field control this turn. Again, caring about how many creatures you have enter the battlefield and how many you own. Borrowed Time, 3-drop enchantment, exiles a target non-land permanent until it leaves the battlefield. Good removal. Ritual Guardian, 3-drop 3/2 with Coven. Beginning of combat in your turn, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, Ritual Guardian gains lifelink. We have a new card, High Rise Sawjack. 1 green, 2 generic for a 2/3 with reach. When it blocks a creature with flying, it gets +2/+0 to turn. So on the offense, it has 2 power, but if it blocks a flying creature, it can take it out. Decent combo. Warm Welcome. 1 green, 2 generic for an instant. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and create a 1/1 green and white citizen. So for 3 mana, you get to search the top 5, get a creature, and also make a 1. Dualcraft Trainer from Midnight Hunt. At uncommon. 1 white mana, 3 generic for a 3/3 first strike with Coven, and that gives target creature you control double strike. So if we pair that with a flyer or something, that'll be pretty cool. Gavany Silversmith, 4-drop 2/3. When it comes into play, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Voice of the Vermin, 1 green, 3 generic. This is from New CAPENNA. For a 2/2 that enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. So a shield counter is removed in place of any damage taken by the creature, or if it would be destroyed, leaving it alive. Voice of the Vermin attacks. Target creature you control has base power and toughness 4/4. Is that him? Yeah. So when he attacks, he can become a 4/4 and make something. Darling of the Masses, a 4-drop 2/4. Other citizens get +1/+0. When Darling of the Masses attacks, create a 1/1 green and white citizen, which if Darling of the Masses is out, that'll be a 2. Nice. Devoted Paladin, 5-drop 4/4. Beacon of Hope. This is from Adventures in the Forgotten Realm. When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+1. Good reward on that one if you have a lot of creatures attacking, or as you being aggressive. Speakeasy Server, 1 plains, 4 generic for 3 flying. When it enters the battlefield, gain 1 life for each other creature you control. Okay. Take to the Streets, 5 mana. Creatures you control get +2/+2 to turn. Citizens you control get an additional +1/+1 and gain Vigilance. 8 plains, 6 forests. 2 snowlands from Kaldheim that come in tapped in either green or white mana. Now we've seen the deck. Now let's play the game. Get into it. Okay. Looks like we have Hedge Witch's Mask we can drop on turn 1. Equipment. We have Kabir Takedown we can use for a land or use it to destroy a creature or planeswalker. We have Warm Welcome to grab a creature from our library and make a citizen, and Darling of the Masses. Only concern here is that we're not going to have a creature until turn number 4. We'll take our free mulligan. This one we have a dual land, we have a plains and a forest, Gavany Trapper. We have a Gavany Silversmith, the 2/3 that buffs other creatures when it comes. We have a Speakeasy Server, and we have Take to the Streets. Okay, this looks better. We'll play the plains first so we can have this come in untapped. When it plays an Obscura Storefront, they're sacking it to get a plains, island, or a swamp. Gaining a life, they get a swamp. But we don't have anything to do, so we'll just play the land that comes in tapped. Youthful Valkyrie. 1/3 flying when another angel comes in. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay. Come in with the Sun Gold Sentinel. And we'll exile the Storefront from their graveyard. Wait for them to make their move. So if we draw another land, we can play Gavany Silversmith. Borrowed time on Sungold Sentinel. Okay. Have Candlegrove Witch. We can have combat if we have a Coven activation. It gains flying till end of turn. So we'll put this down. If they keep attacking us, we'll be able to attack back if they don't play another creature. Valkyrie. The angel comes down. Okay, here's High-Rise Sawjack. So remember, if this blocks a creature with flying, the 4/3 is read. So put that down as a blocker. And we'll trade our Witch for their Valkyrie if they want to. They do not. Reza, Augur of Agonies. 4-drop 3/4 when you draw a card, target opponent life, and you gain a life. Okay. So every turn they draw a card, losing a life and gaining a life. Okay, so this is Citizen, this is Soldier, this is a Warlock. You can go Silversmith. Put a +1/+1 counter on the Candlegrove Witch. And the High-Rise Sawjack. Have to be in a defensive position here. Remember the High-Rise Sawjack, if it blocks a flyer, becomes a 5/4 because it has a +1/+1 counter on it. Back with the Augur of Agonies, E4. Sure if they have a combat trick. Don't really want to risk our High-Rise Sawjack because it's the only thing that can stop their flyers. We'll take the 3. Angel Heart Protector comes down, makes something indestructible till end of turn. That. Okay, we can hold for ransom, make something unable to attack or block. Also put in Darling of the Masses. Hold that for ransom. Stick with our no attacks. We're going to set a stop here before their combat, and we're going to use Gavany Trapper. Tap their Youthful Valkyrie. Psychic Pickpocket enters the battlefield. It connives. When it connives this way, return up to 1 non. Okay. Jack. Okay, and before they go to combat, tapping down the Youth Valkyrie. Okay, so we're at 8. We have 5 mana. Still in defensive mode here because we now have a flyer, but they have one that's a 2/4 we can't really get through, so we're just hanging out. The Fiend's Informant comes in, it connives. So they discard a non-land card, it gets a counter. Pickpocket comes in. Okay, we'll trade here. Unless they have a combat trick. They do. Comes back in, it connives again, and then they're able to return a non-land permanent to our hand. Right. Looks like we're kind of in trouble here. Now we just have this Gavany Trapper hanging out. Their combat step is already done, though, for now. I don't know if there's much that we can do. We have 5 mana. Ritual Guardian. Have this easy. So if we put down this, gain 2 life, we'll go to 8. We'll have a 3/3 flying blocker. Not good. Bravo to our opponent. Looks like it's Peter Frisch at brown.eq. Wonder if this is a professor that we're playing, mathematics professor or something. So in, we have to block. Here, I guess, and here. That's going to be 6 damage, so we're going to say good game, and we'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the introduction to Jump In. Sorry that we didn't win, but that's how Magic the Gathering goes. You don't always win, but that's what you do in Jump In. Essentially, you spend 1,000 gold, get 2 packs, and you get to keep those cards, by the way, and then you play a game. We lost that game. We're able to play another one until we win. So, we'll play another one, but that's what it is. If you want to watch the next game, stay tuned. Okay, game 2, same deck. So we have Sun Gold Sentinel as a 2-drop. We have Borrowed Time. We have a Civil Servant. And Warm Welcome. Okay, we don't have any other citizens in our hand to be able to tap to give this lifelink. Doesn't mean that we won't draw one, though. I think we put this down instead of the Sun Gold Sentinel. I think that'll do just fine. Okay, Ritual of Hope. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Coven, if you control 3 more creatures with different powers, they get +2/+1. Alright, we'll save that. We'll attack for 2. And then, since it's an instant, go ahead and save that. We'll play that on their turn. Sacrificing the Broker's Hideout to get a forest. Plains or island. They chose an island. Alright, let's play Warm Welcome. We have no creatures to get, but we have Kabir Takedown and Take to the Streets, and those have to go to the bottom of our library. So we should know we're not getting those. Okay. So, Civil Servant can attack and tap the Citizen to give it lifelink and +1/+0. Then we'll come in with the high-rise Sawjack. Now we have a few creatures on the board, so if they play something, we can always borrow, time it away, and attack for 5. Mage's Attendant comes in, create a 1/1 wizard with 1 sacrifice this creature, counter target non-creature spell unless it pays 1. Also a Broker's Initiate. They can tap 5 mana to make it a 5/5 till end turn. Alright. So if we come in with borrowed time on the Initiate, we attack with a 2/3 and a 3/3 lifelink. I trade there. Do this. Now we have 3 creatures with different powers. They get +2/+1 till end of turn. We successfully got the better end of that transaction. Now it opens up the door for our Gavany Silversmith to buff these creatures up as we go in, and we're gaining life the whole time with Civil Servant. Broker's Charm, draw 2 cards. I'm gonna hold the Civil Servant for ransom. Voice of the Vermin enters with a shield counter on it. When it attacks, target creature you control has base power and toughness 4 until end turn. Quite like that. Alright, let's attack with everything. Exile their Broker's Charm. I guess if they want to trade the token, they can. They're at 11, so let's go Voice of the Vermin. They have a Voice of the Vermin and a Civil Servant. Okay. Do this. Here. Here. Make that a 4/4 because that's really valuable. They're gonna have to take. They're gonna have to block or take 10. Block both right there. Okay. So yeah, let's just get rid of the Civil Servant. I think that works. We have a borrowed time still in our hand if they drop anything big. Because their Voice of the Vermin is only a 2/2 unless they get to attack with it, which they're not probably going to do. Alright, we won the second game. So we're 1-1, and we got our uncommon. So let's see what it is. Good way for new players to get cards. Again, we get to keep all those cards for 1,000 gold. And we got a contortionist group. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much. Looking for Mythic constructed content, some limited stuff here and there, as well as some beginner videos. I have a playlist on the channel. Please hit that thumbs up for me and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps me grow the channel and bring you more content. Hope you have a great day. Have fun and jump in or whatever else you play on. Take care.